Hello, dear beloveds. I'm jumping in here with an unannounced mini masterclass. I know I usually give you a little bit of warning, but actually this has just been brewing in my head for like 2 days, and it was only just in the last 10 seconds or so that I realized what it is that I actually want to share with you today. It's Weekly Reading Wednesday. It is a mini masterclass coming at you live, and I want to talk about something which is probably going to sound really weird coming out of the mouth of a woman who calls herself an intuition expert, but I sort of feel like it's hopefully going to make sense as well. So there is no such thing as intuition. What do I mean by that? Because of course I got to break that down a little bit, because it's my job, it's my thing, Ricky. It's on your business, it's your name on the business. You pretty much have built your life around this idea of intuition, and I'm absolutely over it. And this is what I mean. I haven't lost my mind, I promise. I am done with people talking about their intuition as though it is this separate thing from them, as though it is like some external thing that we're looking for, that we're trying to gain access to, that we're trying to attain so that we can know the next step of our life, or we can know, if we should eat that thing, or if we should move countries, leave our partners, whatever it is that we are thinking that our intuition has the answer to, as though the intuition is the thing that knows. I'm going to step back a little bit, beep, 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 because I feel like I'm rambling, as I often do when I get really excited. Okay. There is no such thing as intuition. What do I mean? When we are using our intuition as it is God-given to us, as it is appropriate and right, as it is in its fullest manifestation and power, you are never not using your intuition. You are in a constant state of communion with the infinite. And there's never, I'm going to tune into my intuition, I got a sign from the universe, this is, me getting a guidance from my angel, I'm just going to ask my guides what they think. None of that exists when we are truly in a flow state, a communion with what we are, which is all that there ever was and ever will be. We are just removing the obstacles, this false separation, this individual egoic-centered thinking that makes us believe that we're separate from the thing that has all the answers, and we have to tune in, or that if God's really nice to us, we're going to get a rainbow over the horizon so we know we're on the right path. Or we're going to hear our guides talking to us as though our guides could possibly be anything other than what we are. Or that we're going to, tune in to find out if we should leave the marriage or whatever it is. It's like, no, none of that is what intuition is. Intuition, if it is anything, and I've just said it doesn't exist, so maybe it doesn't. Intuition, if it is anything, is the removal of the blocks between yourself and your knowledge that you are all. It is the melting away of duality. It is the end of duality. It is the reunion with self. It is self-realization. And what you're realizing or actualizing is your truth, that you are the answer which you're seeking. You've often heard me say, if you've hung around with me at all, that with intuition, there is never a question to ask. When you're in that flow state, what I call intuitive intelligence, you don't need to figure out how to tune into your intuition, because you are your intuition. You are the answer. And here's what I really want to say, because I've definitely got my rant on today. You know everything. You know the answers, my darling. You know exactly what you are supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to be doing it, and you are terrified. So you throw all of this egoic sense of individualized, finite identity between you and God in a desperate attempt to not realize that you are God, that you are your intuition, that you are fully realized right here and right now, and all you have to do is put down your fear, and you will not do it. I will not do it. We will not do it, because what does that leave us with? Absolute power and personal responsibility. And so instead, we create emotional chaos. We bounce from one drama to the next. We turn everything into a scenario of spiritual narcissism. What is this telling me about my life and who I am? What's the deeper meaning? And blah, 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 blah. And how am I, how did this begin? And where's the cause? And blah, 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 blah. No, that is spiritual narcissism, plain and simple. If you constantly make everything about you from your limited, finite human self, you will never reach the peace that is your birthright. You will never know the joy and happiness that you think you're seeking, but you're actually not seeking it. Because if you actually accepted your birthright, your happiness is right here and right now. And God forbid the answer to your problems are resolved, then what the hell would you do with your life? So instead, you wait on a sign. You wait on a sign that this is the right choice. You tune into your intuition, you pull an oracle card, you play with a pendulum, or you ask your guides, and you abdicate personal responsibility. And that personal responsibility is that you are God right here, right now, and you can't make a wrong choice. You cannot make a wrong choice. And we waste so much time wondering what the right choice is. There are no wrong choices. As long as your choices are made with love, you will be course corrected back to the same place we're all going, the only and one purpose of our life, which is to know that we are infinite, unlimited consciousness. So no, there is no such thing as intuition. There is no such thing as some magic place outside of us, outside there in the cosmos, where all the answers to our life are housed and we somehow get to them. It's not even all in here. It's not separate at all. We are pure, unlimited consciousness. We are crafting reality, okay? So you're waiting on the will of heaven to find out if your choice is right. You're creating the choice. How do I say it another way? Let me find another way to say it. So while you sit there waiting for signs from God, you are creating the signs from God, okay? So you are either going to get a sign or you're not, based on your belief about what you're asking for a sign for. So if you're asking for something that you've never got before and you don't believe you're worthy of, you will never get the sign that will say this is the next best step. And then you go, oh, well, it's not my path. Get to abdicate responsibility for my life. You are making life, okay? You are making life. Life is not actually real. So let me put that another way. 3D reality, this seemingly real thing, these glasses, this computer, this face, this earrings, all of this stuff looks really, really real. And that is because we are so wedded to our ego self. And I don't mean that we're all up in our own, like, oh my God, aren't I amazing? I mean, we're so wedded to our belief in separation that we are currently inhabiting a dream, and we are so convinced that it's real because we haven't taken the time to wake up. Not us, of course, we're awesome, we're all waking up, but this is the analogy and I'm going to stick with it. As we begin to wake up, we begin to meet our own power and we begin to recognize that we're walking around in a dream, but we're still not entirely convinced that we're making the dream. Maybe God's dreaming the dream. Maybe some guide or angel or ancient Arcturian race is dreaming the dream. Maybe, probably not, because actually you are God. You are God. You are building the dream, and you're not just building the dream for yourself, you're building the dream on behalf of everyone. And then we all share the dream, and that's called the collective unconscious. And then we build our own version of the dream as well, and that's our waking reality, our day-to-day life. That person's nice to me, that person isn't. I, do this, and I blah, 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 blah. All of these things unfold. And we think that they're happening to us. And even when we're really awake and we're on the path and we're tuning into our intuition, we still think that in the dream it's possible that our intuition isn't just an echo chamber. Okay, that's a good point. I'm going to make that again. You think that your intuition is separate from you, that if you get enough external evidence that you're on the right path, that you'll feel confident to take the action, which you won't, by the way. You'll still find ways to absolutely stop your life from going in the direction that you are being called to go, which is back to God, by the way. That's all and only, the only place that we're all going, the one purpose that we all have, and we do that through sacred service, by getting over ourselves, in other words. So your intuition is an echo chamber. It's an echo of whatever you are putting out. It is coming back at you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though, yeah, the sign on my door says intuition expert, is I really, really want you to change your mind about what intuition is. Intuition is not the answer. You are the answer, because you're creating it. You're creating your intuition. So your relationship to your intuition is a really good indicator of your relationship to God. Okay, so your relationship to your intuition is a really good indicator of how funky or not your relationship with God is. And by God, replace that with infinite unlimited consciousness, or replace it with your own picture, because you're God. So the degree to which someone comes to me and says, I can't hear my intuition, I don't trust my intuition leads me down the wrong path, or whatever, is the degree to which that person has a shitty relationship with themselves and a shitty relationship with themselves as creators. So your intuition is only an echo of your belief about yourself coming back to you. If you believe the power is somewhere outside of you, you're going to wait on signs. You're going to wait on the will of heaven. You're going to wait as though there's this special magic day where everything will align and you'll get the information that you need, and then you can take the action. That day's never coming, because you are creating that path and you are the action taker. You can't make a wrong decision ever. Or decisions, I should say. You can't, because you are manifesting, even as you sit here watching this, you are manifesting your reality with your subconscious belief about who and what you are. So I guess I should wrap this up, because I feel like I don't want to kind of overwhelm you, but I'm really excited. I feel like I get clearer and clearer and more excited about what I want to say, even though this may not be the most clear thing I've ever shared. I'm still feeling it, and what I'm feeling is too important not to be shared, even though I haven't got a word perfect yet, which is intuition is not real. Okay, as in there is not the right moment where everything will align and you take action and the gods are smiling and everybody says, yes, today's the day, go do that thing. You need to take back personal responsibility for your life, and that personal responsibility that you're taking is the responsibility of knowing yourself as God. And we can't compromise on that. We can't some days say, yes, I am God or the infinite, and other days I'm not. We can't. Once you're on this path, my darling, you're on the path, and we are all on the path. So, hey, no one's got a choice. You always have to take personal responsibility. And you're going to tell me that your life events make that impossible, or that your previous life events make that impossible, or your future life events make that impossible. And I'm going to tell you that no, that's not true. Right here and right now, if intuition is anything, it is you overcoming the belief in separation. It is you overcoming duality thinking. It is you stepping into your infinite nature, which is formless, timeless, placeless. The dimensions of time and space are just a way for us to get to know ourselves. They're not real. You can rearrange everything in an instant. You can rearrange your relationship to what was and what will be in an instant. You simply have to be willing to take on that personal responsibility. So if intuition is anything, it is you remembering that you are God, or infinite unlimited consciousness, and not being afraid of what that means. And what that means is, yes, you're going to have to put down your littleness. You're going to have to put down your finite mindset. You're going to have to put down all of your shadow archetypes, and you're going to have to take ownership of the fact that everything that has happened has served you, and everything that will happen is serving you, and that you are crafting your destiny. There is not a sign that is going to be bigger than that. And if you do get a sign, you've got to own the fact that you made that sign. So I think I may have said what I wanted to say There's no such thing as intuition. You heard it here first. And I hope that will encourage you to inquire further into your relationship with this thing called intuition, because in fact there is such a thing called intuition, and it's you remembering that you're God, and that's kind of the whole freaking point of your life, yeah? And it exists on the other side of belief. And I promised Jen that I'd go live, but it may not happen today. But it kind of speaks to this a little bit, this idea that what I'm talking about is spiritual sight, and you can't access it with your human, egoic, self-centric identity. Now, I'm not calling us egotistical. I'm saying your egocentric identity, which believes in the limited, finite self that you're looking at right now, is not the place where you're going to be able to understand what I'm saying. The place that you can access this truth is outside of that, and that is the place of spiritual sight or symbolic sight, where we start to look at things from that much higher plane. We're thinking like the universe. We're thinking like God. We're not taking everything personally. So if you're asking how do I do that? What's the first step of developing my spiritual sight? Don't take everything personally. Look to the symbolical pattern of what you're witnessing. Look at the pattern unfolding, because you will see that all fear is one fear, that all love is one love. When you start to look in that way, you'll begin to note how people's reactions to you are not actually personal. They're just a play of light and dark, of shadow and of love, and that those things are how we become aware or awake to our truth. So I think I'm done. I am so grateful for you all listening to me. Please let me know if you have any questions. I think I've said probably what I've said today in different ways before, but it feels like it's kind of dropped into my brain in an even more significant way. And it's Weekly Reading Wednesday, so I thought it would be a good time to share it with you. So yeah, don't be afraid of what you are, and please put down all of your stories. And if you're going to tell me that you can't, that they're too big, don't try and do it from your human self. Don't try and do it from this tiny little fragment of your life, of your soul. Do it from that God self. And if you don't know how to do it for yourself, say, dear God, I don't know how to take this suffering, this story, this grief, this pain, this depression, this sadness, this fear. I don't know what to do with it, so I'm giving it back. I'm giving it to you. And I invite you to take this from me today, because I don't know how to do this on my own. And we stop trying to fix things at the level that they were created. So you can't fix the problem at the level the problem was created. And all problems only exist at the level of the dream. So in order to overcome the problems at the level of the dream, you need to go to a different level of consciousness. You are pure, unlimited consciousness. You are crafting all of the time. Please be so mindful of what you bring into your life, dear ones, and give back to God, who can transmute it into light, everything that you don't want to carry forward into this precious, precious life that you've got. I love you like Christmas.